So we should be having a truck arriving any moment now. Hopefully it arrives as scheduled.
We gon' wait until the time right. We gon' do it all night while I'm falling over you. Do it right under the moonlight. I know what you do like. Oh, my darling, I'm no fool. Yeah, but I'm a fool for you, baby. Yeah. I'm a fool for your love. Yeah, I'm a fool for
Compared to my normal Monday, Wednesday, Friday, it may seem like it's been a little while, but for good reason. I'm only trying to film content from now on when I've got something that I'm actually really excited to show you, or something that has a little more substance to. I don't want to post videos anymore, except for the live stream I did yesterday trying to warn people about scams. That was something a little bit different type of topic. But in terms of my content, I no longer want to post anything unless it's something I'm excited to show you. Let's dive into this truck right here. If you have been looking for these second gen Dodges, it doesn't matter if it's second gens, first gens, 24 valve or 12 valve, these things are kind of hard to find right now, and the market is smoking crack. I mean, it is ridiculous how hard it is to find these trucks, and especially for a reasonable price. I mean, I remember when you could buy a truck like this in perfect shape 2 or 3 years ago, 10 grand was like you were getting a mint second gen with under 200,000 miles. Now, 10 grand doesn't get you a beat to crap, rusted out, paint faded pile of scrap for 10 grand. I mean, there's just not much out there. Not going into details on what I paid for this. If you know, you know. If you don't, you just, that's it. You just don't. From what there was available on the market, it was a pretty reasonable deal, and it's a super clean 1998 non-53 block 24 valve Cummins. And there's a couple things about this Cummins that are just a little bit different than most of the 24 valves you're going to see, at least from what I've seen. This could just be from my personal experience and have nothing to do with most people, but most of the time when you find these 24 valves, 98 was the only year you could get a 24 valve Cummins with folding doors or without rear folding doors, and this one was actually optioned out for non-rear folding door. I don't know why you wouldn't want them, but this one was optioned that way. It was the first model year you could get one of these trucks with a 24 valve in it, and somebody spec'd it out with non-folding rear doors. These trucks being extremely hard to find right now, I was not going to pass up the deal that I got just because of the folding doors. I know it's a big deal to some people, but for me, I was like, you know what? I don't know if I'm going to find another deal as close as I can get to this one anytime soon, so I'm not going to pass this up. Pretty bone stock other than an intake and an exhaust. And he's got 2 gauges in there. I think one's for EGTs and one's for your boost pressure. Now the truck has been repainted at one point, and what he actually did when the truck was repainted, they had put these, you can't even hardly see them, but there's actually, okay, there you go, you can see it. There's actually rock guard from this bottom body line all the way down from the rear end all the way to the front, but the thing is straight and clean. The reason for this obviously was with stone chips and stuff, to try to deflect as many rocks as possible without chipping the paint and getting it to start to rust, which is good because we've got something in store for this, that for the guys that are more concerned about your paint than the overall stance and look of the truck, for those guys, you're gonna hate what we're gonna do next. But for the people that like the freaking mean, nasty, aggressive wide look, stay tuned, it's gonna be pretty good. The Mickey Thompson wheels and tires are gonna be going. I believe I have a buyer for them already lined up. As soon as I swap the wheels over, you're gonna have to stay tuned on seeing what we go with. In terms of cosmetic, aesthetically just pleasing looks, this thing is going to have something done to it that's gonna look pretty freaking wild, and yeah, it's gonna look pretty good. So just stay tuned. You know, when you see the video, you're gonna see the video, but this truck's not gonna look anything like this. I would give it about 2 weeks and you will not recognize this truck other than the fact that it's a second gen. It's gonna look completely different. Everything for this truck that we're gonna do was ordered as soon as it was delivered last night. All the cool stuff I'm talking about, you guys will see it very soon. Truck does have 4th gen mirrors that are actually wired. These lights, these amber corner lights do actually come on. It does have the cab lights, pretty much OEM everything else. I mean, other than the Cummins emblem on the grill, I mean, stock headlights, stock cab lights, stock tail lights. I mean, it's pretty standard. He did put these guards on the top after the whole bed was repainted. Going on to the interior, you've got, like I said, you've got the exhaust temp, boost pressure, and you've actually got a dash cover. The dash is not destroyed though. It's got one crack right here. I don't know if you can see that. one crack right there, and I think it's got one more small one down there. But no big like chunks missing, nothing like that. Floors are in really good shape. They've got these nice liners in here so the carpet's not destroyed. Seats are in really good shape. Just got one little tiny tear there that could be easily saved. Headliner's in phenomenal shape other than the one little stain right there and a little stain right there. Back seat looks like it's possibly never been sat in, but let's get this thing started up. This is gonna be the first cold start on our channel with this truck. It does actually have a lift pump as well. It's good to know though. That's a good thing to have on these trucks. Wait to start. Starts like a dream, runs like a dream. It's awesome. It's as simple as it gets for one of these things. You know, exhaust, intake, a couple gauges to keep an eye on stuff. And that's pretty much it. It does have some transmission upgrades though. Truck does have a gooseneck, and it's also got wiring in the bed. And another thing is too, he's got your airbag fill-up valves right down here. Got the rear bumper, no dings, dents, rust. It is tinted, by the way. I'm not sure what darkness it is. I'm thinking it's 15 or 20%. And then it's got, I think, a small brow in the front, but it's a really small brow. If it does, I'm not sure if that's factory at the top or if that's a small brow. Get on the road here and take you guys for a little drive. Here comes a freaking wide Duramax behind us. Steering is also very tight on this thing. I mean, it's really tight steering. And that's another thing that he told me about the truck is he's like, I've never had issues with the steering on this thing. It's always been really tight, and it really is. I mean, the wheel it doesn't move unless you move it, and when you move it, the front tires are turning back and forth, so everything's good there. I mean, it builds boost like wicked fast too. And this thing feels like it's got some serious power. But that could also be with the fact that the transmission does have some upgrades too, because that's going to transfer that power from the throttle to the back tires way differently than a stock transmission, which makes everything feel like really weak and really soft. You know, your shift points are not that great. This is totally different than that. Everything is firm, everything, as soon as you hit the pedal, it spools and it sets you back. I mean, everything is very tight, very firm. Throttle response is incredible. Corner lights on the mirrors. Cab lights, corner lights. Doesn't leak anything. And yes, I checked the blow by after getting the entire truck up to temp. She runs good. She runs real good. And I know there's probably gonna be some people, another second gen, bro, another second gen, like take a break from the Dodges. I just love the second gens. I love the second gens, the third gens, the first gens. In terms of the second gens, guys, I really like them. I really do. I really do like the trucks. I like them a lot. But what we're gonna try to do is start doing them, when we do them, doing them different than we've done before. We're gonna be changing up a lot of the style of how these trucks are when you guys get them. And they're still gonna be daily drivable practical for the most part, but they're going to be different in terms of cosmetic and appearance, just trying to really create something that's more eye-catching and grabbing and more one of a kind that you can't just like find, you know what I mean? So That's the new goal. Hopefully you guys are excited to see it. Now, before I leave this video, guys, I have to remind you, you're almost out of time to get 15 times entries towards winning the nasty red 12 valve plus the 5 grand plus a commercial grade Western plow. That's what the wiring and the mounts are for. On the front end there, every $1 right now is 15 entries, and then it's going back to 1x as soon as this deal ends, which is tomorrow night. And you guys only have just a hair over 2 weeks left to enter to win this truck anyway, and then it will be gone. Go to lmpgear.com, place an order, and you're automatically entered to win. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.